As my first pro bono client shared her story with me, she said, "The first time I saw him, he pointed a gun at me. The next time I saw him, I witnessed him murder someone outside the bar where I worked. In the 2 months after I saw him commit murder, he kidnapped me and raped me on 3 different occasions." My pro bono client came to the United States seeking refuge, but quickly found herself and her daughter detained in a detention facility in southern Texas. Thanks to the help of volunteer attorneys, she and her child were able to pass through the initial asylum screening process and bond out of detention. Upon release, they were placed in removal or deportation proceedings to seek asylum in an adversarial setting. Despite my client being a single mother with no criminal history, the government appealed the bond. I took over her case to handle the bond appeal and present her asylum case in immigration court. We won both cases. Now my client and her child live safely in the United States. The possibility that she would still be in this country without the aid of legal representation is slim to none. While not monetary in nature, there is a reward for pro bono work in knowing you may save a life or drastically improve a person's circumstances. Pro bono cases can seem to be some of the more difficult cases to take. The circumstances leading to a person's inability to afford legal representation make their lives challenging enough, but add to those circumstances a significant legal obstacle and they can reach a breaking point of despair. Many times, those circumstances make working for the client difficult, logistically and emotionally. I've made several trips as a volunteer attorney to the detention facilities that hold mothers and their children, most recently this past September. Seeing a baby in what amounts to a jail setting is disturbing, and working with mothers who share stories of rape, domestic violence, murdered family members, and threats on their lives is an overwhelming and surreal experience. However, I find my law license has never been put to better use than when helping these clients. I have benefited significantly personally and professionally in doing pro bono work with these women and children seeking asylum. As a result of volunteering in the detention facilities, I met some of the best attorneys in my field of practice. I now have direct access to them when I need mentorship or guidance. On the first trip, I roomed with a stranger with whom I have since started a nonprofit, VITA, the Volunteer Immigrant Defense Advocates, that provides legal services to underserved areas of eastern Tennessee. While I traveled across the country to perform some of my pro bono work, you can find many pro bono opportunities without leaving Chicago. Pro bono work is the best thing I did for my career, and it can be for you too.